Hey everybody, you're at home with Melissa, and I am so glad that you're here. And I just want to apologize first off for it having been so long since I've done a video. I was sick. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So I just wanted to very quickly do a video to tell you what's up right now. And here, as you can see in the frame, we have Spike the bearded dragon in a room that's totally disgusting. This is my grow room, my sunroom. And through the summer, it's been a catch-all for tools and, ooh, there was a lot of camera action there. For tools and gardening implements, dirt, newspaper that I use in the garden, and all sorts of crazy things that have no business just being thrown in a room. And what Spike is sitting on is actually a set of shelves. You can tell that I've had them for a while and they haven't been put up. I've had them for a long time, in fact. You can see how beat up the box is. In the lower left corner is an area where Squeaky, the Siamese cat, she sharpens her claws on it occasionally. And Spike is warmed up now, but she's wondering why I'm so close to her, staring at her and talking, as opposed to holding her or letting her go about her business. But you can see she's happy and healthy and maybe a little chubby, but she's a good girl. And this room is nice because it has windows on 3 sides of it. It used to be a porch. Before I was ever born, it was enclosed. And it has its own separate heating system from the rest of the house, if that would ever be needed, and things like that. So one day I was holding Spike, she got warmed up, and decided she wanted to run. So I decided to let her run in the sunroom. And she had a blast because, yeah, there's a ton of stuff in here, but there was nowhere she could get in and get stuck. There was nothing she could really hurt herself on. So I let her run in here, and she was having such a good time just charging from one end of the room to the other and that was probably a couple of days ago, that I took a sudden notion in my head that I thought, you know what? I am going to turn this into a habitat and lounging area for Spike the bearded dragon and Squeaky the Siamese cat. The two of them get along well. In fact, right now in this room you have the 3 of us. Squeaky is in the window soaking up the sun and sleeping. Spike is... I'm not sure what Spike's doing. She had been running, and I set her on the box so that I could film her. So I think she's just kind of thinking, do I have to stay here or can I run? But what I'm going to do is, in this corner here, this little fella is a garden decoration. His name is Jasper. He's a frog. I have 2 of them, and they're really huge. And they're going to remain in here because they're going to go with the decor. But this corner, where you can see all of the plant matter that I've dragged in over the summer, this corner is where I'm going to set up a minnow, an 89-gallon minnow pond, in which I'm going to try to propagate some watercress. I already have another pond in this room, and that's where my 5 large wild-caught bluegill live. And it's the pond in which I propagate my duckweed. So the watercress will be good for me. Spike might like it as well. I'm going to try it out on her once it's grown, if it works. The duckweed, there are a lot of species in this house who eat it. It's very high in protein and can actually be a good source of food for humans as well. My friend Christy gave me some linoleum, and I thank you so much, Christy, for that. I'm going to line the floor with linoleum. I'm going to put down the second pond. That's on today's agenda. And what we're going to do then is we are going to look at all the mess, look at all the mess, look at all that. You can tell this is like the mud room, but it won't be from now on. It's going to have a purpose, and that's going to be her habitat. I'm going to have her lights set up in here. I'm going to get branches outside that I cut off of trees, strip the bark from, because bark, if you bring it inside, you can bring bugs into your house and things. I don't want that. So what I'll do is I'll cut down limbs. Hey, Spike, nice to see ya. Howdy. Oh, pretty little girl. But I'll cut off branches from trees one at a time, strip the bark from them, and place them in this room in a way that seems like natural growth, and create climbing areas for Spike. I'll score the wood to give her places to get purchased, to grab, because she's actually not the best climber. And bearded dragons climb, but this particular little girl, she's really clumsy, and she likes to climb, but she falls a lot. So I'm going to make sure to score the wood so that she has texture that she can grab onto when she's climbing. And she and Squeaky will both like climbing those limbs. I'm also going to, in some of the windows, set up lounging shelves for both the cat and the dragon so that they can just kind of soak up the sunlight and enjoy. And like I said, if it ever gets chilly, I, unlike the cat and the dragon, love the cold. I have the rest of my house where I live set to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is chillier than most people like. I like it. These guys like it a little warmer, so if they needed a little extra heat, I could heat their room and, you know, keep anything in here that needs to be kept warm. Not meaning animals, but any kind of foodstuffs or whatever that have to be kept a little bit less cool, which I can't imagine actually happening. But, you know, and I can grow some vegetables in here that need a little bit more heat. I've often done that anyway. You know, this has been my grow room. I keep the rest of the house cooler for me, keep this house a little bit, this room, oh, yummy, huh? Keep this room a little bit warmer and grow plants in here. I'll continue to do that, and I'll have these areas for these two to hang out in. So I think it's going to be really nice, and I'm going to kind of do short videos here and there to show you the progress of it as we go on. But I just wanted to say, to take this quick opportunity to say hello and let you know that I have missed you, and tell you what the new project is going to be now that I'm up and around again. And I thank you so much for joining me, and please tune in again. If you like it, subscribe. If you want to check out, you know, because that's not just for this channel, but for any. If you like their videos and you'd like to know when they put out new things, if you subscribe to them, then you can get email alerts when they post anything new. So it's just kind of a nice feature that YouTube does. But anyway, if you're interested in checking in, finding out more about the bearded dragon or the different fish and crustacean species I have here, check out my previous videos. I've also done some aquaponics work and some other neat projects you might like. So anyway, I'm going to let you go for now, and I'm going to get around and start this, and maybe we'll have another update later on. In the meantime, thanks again for spending your time with me. I'm glad you were here. Bye-bye.